Alright folks, the deck is Kazakhstan Control Paladin. The goal of the deck is to use some early game board clears like Equality, City Tax, and even Shrink Ray to stop our opponent from killing us so that we can work our way towards the Kazakhstan, play them, get some treasures, play those, and win the game. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can catch me live at twitch.tv/Roffle or here on YouTube.
Watch this!
You asked for it.
I will fight with honor.
You think Righteous Defense would fit anywhere in this deck? I mean, in general, if I thought a card would fit in the deck, it would be in the deck. And, like, Shrink Ray serves a similar purpose.
Ah, I see you've brought guests.
Like, even against Secret Mage, the City Tax isn't great on its own, so... You're welcome, Shane. This is actually pretty good for when they start chaining, like extra turns, right?
A good explorer comes prepared.
Where's ETC Band Manager? In my collection. Because he would not be very good in this deck. I don't really have anything specific that I'm aiming for. I'm not sure what I would even put in him
May the light
to justify playing a 4-mana 4/4.
Let's get 'em.
Roffle, can you help me? I keep having a dream where I'm swimming in orange soda, but it always turns out it's a fantasy.
Yeah, simple. Just don't wake up until you drink all of the pool. Thank you, the 6. Always happy to help.
let the dead rest.
Nozdormu? But I have Nozdormu in my deck. Why would I want to put him in a... Why would I want to make him harder to get to? Fantasy? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I missed the joke. But in my defense, I don't think I've ever drank a Fanta in my entire life.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
The Sivara?
Time to wash away the filth.
Which is kind of bad for me.
Runs out on me.
Put dragons that aren't Nozdormu into ETC so that Redscale hits Nozdormu more often. That is a thing I could do, but that would then make me reliant. Like, I would almost never get the Kazakhstan online, right? Because I'd be completely reliant on it. We just don't need to fix the deck. We don't need to make the deck worse by adding cards that don't belong in the deck. We're not reliant on Nozdormu as much as we are on Kazakhstan, so that would, like, again, defeat the purpose. It may have needed to be a timeout turn. And then on top of that, then we have redundancy with our Redscale, where sometimes it's not drawing anything as a result. So is that better? Chat forgets playing a 4-mana 4/4 is bad? Yeah, but it's a 4-mana 4/4 that discovers a card. That's not the objection, apparently.
Magic is not a toy.
Oh, right, they have 2. That's fine. I think I would rather play this than the 6-mana one anyway, just because it gets me further through my deck. Once again, I think chat is doing the thing where they argue semantics, where they're suggesting things that could be done, but that doesn't mean that they should be done.
Twitch chat has infinite mana to play all the cards they want. YouTube chat has infinite deck size to put all cards they want.
Yep, sounds about right. But also, like, Twitch chat does the infinite deck size thing, too, where they just constantly ask, why isn't X card in deck? And never, like, what would you swap out for it? But yes, together, both chats are unstoppable. Unfortunately, our opponent does not appear to be unstoppable. ETZ's strongest use case is that he can be used to work around deck building restrictions such as duplicates and Highlander spells in Spiteful. Well, yes, but that doesn't mean that you should generate deck building restrictions to justify, like, that's working in reverse to, like, artificially create a deck building restriction just so that you can justify running ETC, which seems to be what Chad is trying to do in this case. Fortunately, this opponent is making it really hard to get Kazakhstan online. Do I just have to eat this? Or I could do this and try and hit one of the 1-drops. Neat.
Magic? Yeah, I've heard of it.
So I just try and stall out until they fatigue themselves. Legitimately a win condition if they're not playing an Ignite in there somewhere, and then even then, like, Ignite becomes a bit of a liability.
But now with etc we can say, replace good card with etc, add good card to etc and 2 bad cards that beat 1/1000th decks.
You sure can. You sure can. Nobody can say you can't do that. Thank you, Deadly Bunnies. I don't know if that's a good thing, though. For my sanity, at least. I need to get the other timeout in a timely manner. Or the other Rebuke.
That's right.
Isn't his main use case just run cards that are devastatingly good in certain matchups but useless in others? I mean, yeah, that and the deck building restrictions, but I think that people vastly overestimate the usefulness of ETC. What's the opponent's combo? Infinite extra turns. Uh-oh. That is not what I needed to have happen here. Okay, whatever I choose here, I don't actually want to put on. Let's kill Renathal.
Move quickly.
Should have actually done that in the other order, but I still can't get rid of one of the 1-mana cards. Getting the perfect card with a 4-mana tax isn't that good. I mean, it can be. Again, it's situationally, but, like, that's why it becomes a difficult card to evaluate, is, like... Yeah, this might be GG. It's hard to evaluate how frequently it's an upside, because it's hard to quantify how much of a downside paying 2 mana for the, or 4 mana for the card is, whereas it's really easy to see, oh my god, this card single-handedly won the game for me, when it does have that, like, payoff, right? So... Okay, that's a main deck Potion of Illusion, so they still have to play the ETC to, like, properly go infinite, but they might also just, like, not even need that. What were you looking for off a service bell? Either Rebuke or timeout because I wanted to deny this type of turn. ETC can run tech cards that you would otherwise not want to waste space in your deck. That is his best use. Again, that is a use for him. Getting around deck building restrictions is another one. But also, like, tech cards are really, 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 really bad in most matchups. That's why you don't put tech cards in your deck. So you're running a bad card in your deck to put more bad cards sort of in your deck for other matchups. How is that a good card?
Better, I think.
I'm proud of you. I'm glad somebody is. Thank you, the 6.
May the light grant you peace.
Think this is my best bet to just, like, hope that the Renathal clears himself now. Hey, we did the Bronze Explorer thing again.
Job's done.
I'm out of cards.
Alright, fatigue now becomes a bit of an issue, as well as just, like, the Renathal killing himself. Godspeed and explaining ETC, Godspeed, yeah. We can just move on. Like, nobody, there's clearly a substantial portion of people watching right now that are just never going to agree with me, so it's fine. You can run ETC in your deck. I'm not running into this one. Sorry. You can sue me later if you want, I don't care. Well, there goes my fatigue game plan, but also, like, how do they get extra turns now? Was that a thing that was good for the opponent?
Let's get him.
We did talk about how cards shouldn't be able to discover themselves, but also we talked about why that sometimes does happen. I think they kind of threw, or at least gave me a bit of an opening, right? I would probably not play the timeout this turn because they only have one card that they're drawing. Did they just lose? I don't think they lost necessarily, but they definitely... I don't know. Made things harder on themselves. Unless they know exactly... They're not drawing exactly the Renathal here, are they? I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in the middle of the hand. Essentially, the reason why it does sometimes happen is because there are multiple versions of core set cards. There's a wild version, which can only get generated in a wild, and then there's the core set version. And they are treated as two separate cards, basically.
First stream I catch, I realize how much more chat nonsense you have to deal with than what the videos show. Hang in there, Roffle.
Appreciate it. I mean, it's fine. People have strong opinions about cards. That is nothing new. But thank you, Crystobal. Glad you made it to a stream, and welcome.
Unity, precision, perfection.
Alright, this does the most damage for Flame Ward. What I'm really looking for is the Rebuke right now. Which actually, in hindsight, doesn't matter. But I do want to play the timeout on the turn where I actually pop the block, I think. So, let's just do this. Does that mean you can have a Discover card show two of the same card? I've never actually encountered that one. But maybe? It seems unlikely, though. I don't know. Maybe they're doing a different check for that. There's the Ignite. They generated that. That also becomes a bit of a liability. This doesn't actually get me healing because of the ice block. Let's go here. Oh god.
Also, when is the next Twitch stream? I have Prime and I rather give it to you than going to waste.
Next Twitch stream.
Now is the time.
That's really bad for me. I did not play around Vengeful Visage because I forgot about that. Twitch streams are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So. And then Mondays and Fridays are on YouTube. Healed them? Yeah. Turns out I should have played the spells first so that I could have gotten the timeout in play.
Don't think too hard. You'll hurt yourself.
This is maybe one of the worst times I could have played the Renathal, it feels like. Are they trying to throw this game? Because they can't deal damage to me. I do not have thoughts on Diablo 4 because I haven't played it or even watched anyone else play it. So. Like, they can only deal damage to themselves with the ignites as well. Today is Monday. I said Monday and Fridays are on YouTube.
You'll hurt yourself.
They're gonna hurt themselves. I mean, that's... They got one more line, I think? Because that happened, obviously, before with the... A mage should think harder? Yeah. This is the one time where Romnath is incorrect. You should absolutely be thinking harder.
Our hardships only strengthen our resilience.
Yeah, there's a chance we still lose here. It's going to depend a little bit on where the ignites hit. Fortunately, we do reduce the damage that they do with the Cariel.
Remember the following.
It's absolutely an objection in there.
Good explorer comes prepared.
Do I just go for the Kazakhstan here? Let's find a little bit of extra damage to like any of these. Sure. Yep. There we go. Alright. We're just trying to get them in more of range of Wait! They overdraw now. Overdraw the... Oh. Could have overdrawn the Romnath. I'm a lawyer and this mage is objecting more than I do? Well, I don't want to call you out, but from what I've learned on television, the sign of a good lawyer is how many times they yell objection in court.
Don't think too hard.
That's why Better Call Saul is the best lawyer in all of history. Their hand is full, so they don't even get this Romnath back. They have punted so unbelievably hard this game. I cannot believe the level of throw that is throwing right now. Like, this is their last extra turn.
begins
Feel the power of the
Power!
wild world. I will fight with honor.
Okay. Not the greatest matchup for me. Just because they're probably a little bit faster. Oof.
May the light
They're a little bit faster to combo than I am. Unfortunately, we're only drawing one off of this, but we can use the Finley to send the other Crystology to the bottom if we end up drawing that.
May the light grant you peace. Let the dead rest.
Very happy to tradable as Evergreen? Yeah, I think that was a good decision. It's I don't know, it's a mechanic that feels good to play, right? I mean, I suppose we might as well, right? I've got the Nozdormu coming down next turn. Hey, welcome, Aborn.
Free of that blasted tower. Behold.
Kill that. Kind of feels like I do. Is giving them 10 mana with a Vargoth on board seems like a really, really bad idea.
Let the dead rest.
Do you think it is ever useful to put a few tradable cards in a deck in order to have less cards in it? That's not really what the mechanic does, though. So, no. I mean, the closest thing was... like, no, that's just not at all what... I'm gonna pitch this away because I'm afraid of, like, mill effects. But that's just, like, not what the card does. It, the closest was, like, Ignite Mage, but that was more so... less about deck thinning, because it doesn't actually thin your deck, tradable, that is. And more about the fact that you couldn't run a lot of spells because you needed to target specific spells with the minions that draw spells. So. Ignite Mage kind of did that. Yes, but not for the reason that is being specified, right? Like, again, Ignite Mage had no choice. It couldn't run other spells, and so it had to run tradable minions so that it could draw enough to make up for the fact that it couldn't run a lot of spells, you know?
Remember the fallen.
So those are still different things. Would taking in Baku make this more strongest deck if Hearthstone? I'm gonna go with yes. You got it. Both of these put 8 power on the board.
Remember the fallen.
I don't really want to put the Kazakhstan at the bottom of my deck because it's kind of my best chance at a win condition right now. It's deck thinning if you have chat's infinite mana, but even then it's not. Like, your deck remains the same size every time you trade a card. So that's explicitly not deck thinning. Oh, never mind. I lost my mind there for a moment. There we go.
Mistakes of the past rewritten.
But if you have infinite mana, you can just trade. Yep. Still does not make your deck any thinner. I don't know. Words mean things, chat. They do, in fact, mean things. Bottom deck is actually potentially a Flight of the Bronze, which I think is worthwhile here.
Remember the fallen.
We can go Kazakuzin into Sir Spinley. I'm sorry, Roffle, I started something with chat. It's not your fault. You made a pretty reasonable statement, and then what happens is I say something, and then certain people... That's the third one of those. Certain people in chat will, like, bend over backwards to try to, like, argue semantics with that. Such is the nature of Twitch show, or any chat, rather. Two dragons left.
It seems you need another lesson, mortals. Come forth, my
I have 14 cards left and one additional Cthulhu piece. I'm assuming that's another scale, yeah. I could go for the Bronze Explorer so that next turn I have the Kazakhstan online. Let's consider that, and then do it. Now look for the... Oof. Yeah.
Remember the fallen.
Rebuke seems good.
Remember the fallen.
comes prepared.
Here we can rebuke Kazakhstan.
Let's get him.
My greatest creation, the treasure hoard. I concede.
Get rebuked, nerd. Alright. I mean, no deck can be that strong without at least having decent game into Pirate Rogue, right? So maybe we'll be fine. You're welcome, Julio.
Ah, I see you've brought guests.
Alright, probably have to keep the city tax because their turn ones are kind of spooky. New Paladin legendary spells look decent for a control Paladin. Yeah, they've got some... Paladin has some of the more interesting cards that are
Never bring a sword to a
being revealed that have been revealed so far.
Never bring a sword to a
So this is why we kept the city tax. Ooh. Can I wait until turn 4? I'll take a lot of damage in the process, but I will get to draw some cards. Yeah, you and me both, Uther. I don't actually know what the correct play is. I'm gonna take the greedy line.
Reporting for Tuesday.
Like, worst case scenario, if they develop a pretty big board here, I can just call a timeout.
feed the fish.
Pirates can't beat taxes? I mean, they can only hope to evade them.
Give me that. Not what I want.
The only real punish is the... actually, I don't even have to wait for the equality. I can just city tax it into double Vigil. Because I don't want to wait a turn for the South Sea Captain, which will completely and utterly destroy me. So, especially now that I do the other Vigil, this becomes pretty nutty. Play this first.
May the light grant you peace.
Job's done.
Seems good. It is tax season, true. True. You can tell by, like, the many TurboTax ads that probably played before this video. I do not want to leave that on the board.
Do try to keep yourselves alive. Let the dead rest. May the light grant you peace.
Alright then. We've got plenty of healing. We've got a timeout. I think this game is all but locked.
Blood.
Never punished? I don't think it was... I don't think there would be a punish in making, like, a correct play, right? What? I don't think that there's... Given the contents of my hand, I don't think it was right to just rip the city tax there.
Follow my lead.
So it's more, like, rewarded for restraint than not punished.
A good explorer comes prepared.
Just Rebuke here to play around Secret Passage.
I see.
Well, I was planning on playing the Order in the Court here, but...
Reporting for duty.
What does Bronze Explorer have lifesteal? Is that how they printed the card? How it's always existed?
Look, you shinies.
How did they discover themselves? Because there is a... two versions of Bronze Explorer. There's the core set version, and there's the past expansion version. So, with certain cards, there is the risk of that. That's why, like, at least for a while, I don't know if they fixed this particular interaction, but with, like, explosive runes and counterspell, you could actually trigger them into themselves against Orion, which is really annoying.
Pirates away!
So they are considered, like, two unique cards is the reason why that can happen.
Time's ticking.
To battle. Now's the time.
Yeah. I think we've won from here.
Put your dukes up, small fry.
Yeah, welcome, Chris.
Trust the pirate's code.
I would rather not. Is there anything, like, critical that I want to play right now? Probably not. Just draw then dredge. Sure.
I can't do that. Now is the time.
Alright. Fantastic. Great turn of Hearthstone for the opponent. They actually paid mana for both of these cards.
Now is the time.
Bonk. Welcome, Demon Spawn. Thank you to legendary supporters Battlefly, Brian Quinn, Fizzle Jizzix, Justice Crater, Ali Alkali, Cathandrian, Nate Drex, Saga, Shadow1 TV, Sognusman, and Twin Emperor Veckenlash.